All right, guys, welcome back to Frogboy X1 Gaming. I'm Andrew, and it's been almost 3 months with the RTX 5090. That is more than enough time to give you guys these 5 things I absolutely hate about the RTX 5090 and 5 things I absolutely love about the RTX 5090. So I did take some notes for this video today, well, at least bullet points to try to keep me on task for this, because this is a pretty important video for those of you out there who are considering spending the money that it costs to buy an RTX 5090. And then at the end of these bullet points, I will give you guys my unedited, non-scripted conclusion about this experience. Now, this is not a bashing video or anything like that, so you don't have to worry about that. These are realistic things that I hate about it, realistic things that I absolutely love about it. So just hang in there for a minute. Give me a few minutes. Let me talk to you guys about this. I don't want it to be a rushed video, but I do want to touch on a few things, and some of these I'm going to go into a little bit more depth on, just due to the fact that, like, I feel like this is a pretty important expenditure that somebody might make on just out of like just out of like, oh my gosh, I gotta have it, it's the best. But there are some real things that you really need to take into consideration when buying this. So I want this to be a good video, and I want to try to iterate or illustrate my views pretty decently. So give me let's just get right into this. So first thing I freaking hate about the RTX 5090 is the cost to build this system. So not only is it the cost of the GPU itself, because I mean, we already see the prices. You know, I got mine for about $2,600. The MSRP is about $2,000, and then they go up, well, almost to $4 freaking grand just for the RTX 50, and that is in the US. Imagine being in like Australia or Canada or just somewhere else with even higher prices than that. That could be wild. And right now we are going through the whole tariff thing that is making prices a little wild. And right now, due to the potential limited supply of RAM and stuff like that, these prices might even continue to climb. So just the GPU alone is already a pretty hefty cost. But then you build out your machine, and see, this is what I built. I built that. I bought a new case, I bought a new motherboard, I paired that with the X870E-E Strix, ROG Strix Wi-Fi. Yeah, it's the ROG Strix motherboard, which is absolutely incredible board. $500 for that. And to tell you the truth, as a content creator and as somebody that has a lot of high-speed devices, external drives, stuff like that, the I/O output of that motherboard is second to freaking none. Like, there's just so much fast I/O. USB-C, USB-A, and it's just fast. Like, it's fast. It's like 20 gigabytes, 10 gigabyte, 20 gigabyte, 40 gigabyte. Like, it's incredible. Like, everything runs right through it. The Wi-Fi on there is absolutely incredible. The Bluetooth for hooking up like the PSVR2, like that, my controller's hooked up. No problem at all. No problem at all. Such a plug and play experience. But you know, and so that there is the motherboard, another $500. And then, you know, you pair that with your cooler. Obviously, I went for something a little bit more pricey and a little bit more stylistic with the ROG Ryujin AIO cooler for that, with the 3.5 screen, which I absolutely love. I think it brings out the aesthetic of this build like no other. I mean, let me give you guys like a little look at this thing, man. I got the blue lights going on it right now, and it just looks so phenomenal. I love that. But yeah, the cost to build something like that on top of the money that you already spend on your RTX 5090, a build like that coming out to about $6,000. So I absolutely hate that if I was just using it for gaming, but seeing as I am using it for content creation and stuff like that, it really does kind of suck that the cost is so high, but potentially absolutely worth it. So that's one of the things that I actually hate about it. I hate that it costs so much to have that type of power when you know, when you have consoles coming out telling you, oh yeah, these are 4K 60, and then you come to find out that in order to get 4K 60, you are absolutely spending a ridiculous amount of money to do that just for gaming. So that's the first thing I hate about it. The second thing I hate about this experience is the optimizing the freaking settings. I hate it because it's one of those things where like you come into it and especially coming from a console mindset, you just kind of have that like plug and play experience like ingrained deeply into your psyche, especially as many years as I was on console. So like getting in there and having to optimize things or, you know, try new things and stuff like that, like it can get a little bit hectic and a little bit confusing and to be quite frank, intimidating by a lot of people. Because I'm not gonna lie, I was quite intimidated trying to have to figure this stuff out. And then, you know, going with a 9950X 3D CPU. Look, I get that a 9800X 3D would have probably been a better pairing for just gaming. But I'm a content creator as well, and having that extra 8 cores and all the way up to like 32 threads, a much better investment for me long term than just getting a gaming CPU that, you know, is going to kind of limit me in other aspects of what I like to do here on the channel. So optimizing that was quite intimidating. It was quite annoying, to be completely honest with you. A lot of, you know, trial and error stuff when setting all of this stuff up, getting your games to run well, you know, trying to figure out like the CPU cores. Now that's a different part. I mean, that's clearly a different part. It has nothing to do with the with the GPU itself, but it is part of this build, and you know, therefore optimizing the GPU, stumbling across, you know, resizable bar, being able to turn that off and getting a much cleaner, smoother experience overall out of that. So yeah, optimizing the settings for something like this is, I know a lot of you guys are out there. I've been PC gaming for 20 years and it's no problem for you. You know exactly how to do it by the back of your hand. But you know what? Froggy's in a learning phase and we're learning stuff. And so yeah, that is one of the things that I actually hate. I wish it was more plug and play. I wish that the settings were, you know, would just line up a lot better for the Nvidia experience for me. But the more I learn, the better it gets, the less upset and stuff I get about that. But that's where we are right there. That's why that made it into one of those. The third thing with the freaking 5090 that I hate, like I guess I gotta stop hating, that I dislike, is the freaking power draw and the heat. To run this thing, you are pretty close to 600 watts. And I know that there's, you know, the ability to undervolt and do all of this stuff, but look, I didn't spend $2,600 to like put a leash on my power. And you know, while I know I'm only losing a little bit of percent, but that's still a percent that I paid for that I actually do want to use. I want to be able to use the full power of my GPU and not have to limit it artificially to save on costs or something like that. So yeah, I'm running it at full power, you know, with the heat that it produces. You know, it's an interesting, you know, endeavor that really just, I don't know, at times it makes it seem like it's a little bit, you know, it's a little bit too much or excessive or something like that. You know, you're running this thing and it's heating up your room pretty quickly. You're getting pretty warm. You're playing games and all of a sudden, you know, you're sweating. And like summer, like when I got this thing, it was pretty much, you know, still like the end of summer or whatever. And whew, for those first couple of weeks, that was like very, very hot. Like I'm kind of, you know, worried about next year being able to use it during the summer. So yeah, the heat and the power draw, definitely something I dislike about this build. Number 4, the fourth thing I hate about this, and this is kind of a big one. Like I do hate the fact that I live in constant fear of this 12-pin melting on me, okay? And you see it all over the place. You see people talking about it, you know, and other channels make a massive deal out of it in order to get clicks. So that just continues to you know, stoke the hysteria over something like this when in reality it shouldn't be a problem, but it is. It's a real problem. We've got physical proof of seeing this happen to PCs. So yes, I do live in constant daily fear that something's going to happen to it. And you know, that's not where I want to be. Like, I don't want to have to feel like that. I have to turn the power off on my PC when I leave for work and, you know, pretty much not let any power run through it and stuff like that, because I legitimately have this fear due to the overabundance of hysteria that has been produced online, in comment sections, in forums, by community, you know, by the community in general that have had this happen to them and stuff. And we're talking even people with 50s, 70s having the plug melt on them. And so it's like, okay, like I have anxiety over that. And I don't think there's anything that will ever be able to be done about that. It's just something that exists now. It's part of the, you want the power, here's the risks, you know? It's like, it's almost like going and getting a prescription from the freaking doctor. You know, you've got all the side effects, you know, that could happen, that are potential, you know? And it's like, this thing should be marketed with a side effect, you know, could potentially melt your freaking cable because we decided we were going for small and you know, I don't know, aesthetics probably for just the one plug. Because I'm not gonna lie, having a card with 8 pins, it's pretty massive and it takes up a lot of space, and it's kind of challenging to route that stuff. But you know, I do like the one plug. I do absolutely like that. But gosh dang, man, now the fear that we get to go through, and every time something like that happens, it's going to be blown out of proportion. Everybody and their dog is going to freaking jump on the bandwagon and make it as big as they possibly can. And I can't say that I wouldn't do the same. If mine melded, you better bet I'm going to try to, you know, get, you know, like content and everything out of that and talk about it. And I don't know if I'm going to dissect it and do all of that kind of stuff to try to get to the freaking cause of it. But yeah, that just sucks, man. You hook everything up and you just, you know, you kind of have to cross your fingers and pray for the best, which is not how a $2,600 GPU should be sold. Like, it should be like legit. Like, you shouldn't have to worry about something like that. But I do every single day. And number 5, the other thing is cost versus performance. Now, yes, when you look at other GPUs from like the 70 series, you know, like the 5070 Ti or the 9070 XT, and you look at the cost of those GPUs and what they can do for you in terms of like 4K visual quality, settings, features, all of that, the cost that you're paying over and above that for an RTX 5090 is significantly higher, but the performance does not translate anywhere near the cost of it. Like, the cost of it is ridiculous, and you can legit buy an RTX 5080 with the exact same cooler as the 5090, and you do not get like if a 5090 is $1,500 or $1,000 and $2,000, like, you are not getting $1,000 more performance out of an RTX 5090. Like, you are just not. And in fact, you might be limiting the lifespan of it just due to the 600 watts that you're putting through it, which is kind of madness. But it is crazy. Like, you're not getting that big of a performance uplift over these 70 class, 80 class cards. Like, you're just not. Like, it's not worth $1,000 over. But we're going to get into the things that I actually love about this. And some of these things that I actually love about this kind of contradict some of the things that I don't like about it. Because while there's things that I don't like about it, the things that I like about it, in my mind, make it worth the expense. So number one, as a content creator, I get to live stream at 4K resolution while playing at 4K resolution with high frame rates. Okay, that is massive. To be able to put it on there and to be able to have it run and work so well and be able to deliver a gaming experience that I would be getting regularly, and then being able to use the Nvidia encoders to actually encode as I'm playing and not take any kind of performance hit, that's incredible. That is incredible. And right there, almost, I mean, if I was live streaming games every single day, would easily pay for itself very quickly because of that ability to be able to still enjoy the games the way I want to, and then still be able to deliver content that is incredible for the community. So that's something I'm working on, trying to figure out how to live stream in freaking HDR, but it's going to take me a minute to figure that out. Number two, the second thing that I absolutely love about the RTX 5090 is it is an absolute freaking workhorse for editing videos. It is smooth, it is consistent, it's fast. I can load literally everything into VRAM and just edit like a freaking boss, like a champ. I can scrub right through all my video and go right to anywhere I want, hit play, and it just plays and it looks perfect. I can go frame by frame and like no hitching, nothing like that. To be fair, I can do most of that on the 9070 XT as well and the 5070 Ti in the program that I use, but it's just faster on the 5090. On the 5090, when I hit freaking render, boom, it's like half the time of both the other ones. So that is an incredible time saving that I don't have to sit there waiting for a video to upload. I can run a 5 hour or an hour video and literally have that thing done in like 10 minutes. And that's just crazy. It's like 15 to 20 minutes on the 5070 Ti and a 9070 XT for an hour video. So I mean, it's like it literally cuts that time in half for me. And it's just, that's a time saving. Time is money. Like the more time you're spending doing something, the less money you're able to make, the less you're able to do. So yes, in terms of like a workhorse, boom, incredible. And it's just awesome. Number three, I never run out of VRAM, ever. I mean, this is kind of a good and a bad thing because I'm sending power to the VRAM, but I'm not even using it. And we're playing everything. And VRAM is never an issue. I don't have the VRAM stutters anymore. Like, it's just great. I can max everything out and see what it does. Whereas with 9070 XT and 5070 Ti at 4K, there's some games I have to make sacrifices. And that's fine. I mean, most of the time the sacrifices are not to a point where it's like, oh my gosh, but with the 5090, you get that full experience that the developer had envisioned for you to have. Like, you get everything. You get all the settings. You get them all. Every single setting, every single visual quality, it's all there and it looks incredible on 4K. Most of the time you don't even have to use DLSS, but when you do, DLSS 4 is so good now that it's like, oh my gosh, this looks incredible. And for those brief seconds that you're in that world and you're enjoying it fully, you start to forget all the money and everything that you spent on an RTX 5090 because it is an absolute beast that just gets the job done. Whether it's good. And after using a 580 for the last few days, 5090 is going to be a good card as long as it maintains not melting. Oh my gosh, this thing could last literally freaking, I don't know. I don't want to say forever. Forever is a long time, but gosh dang, this thing could last a very long time. And yes, it's incredible. Having 32 gigs of RAM, absolutely incredible. I think that more GPUs should actually boost it up, but man, we're going to start getting things like neural rendering compression and all of these other things from both AMD and Nvidia. So I don't know, maybe one day people on 16 gigabyte cards will be able to utilize their GPUs the way and feel like the 5090. So maybe it's just money in the toilet because new features are going to make it run better and faster on lower end cards. You never know, but that is the future, and hopefully that becomes reality. Number four, man, the fourth thing I love about this freaking 5090 and just Nvidia in general is gosh damn Nvidia broadcast, man. The clean sound that I can produce while playing games and talking with my freaking fan on, with kids walking in and out of the room, dog clicking across the floor. It's incredible. And it sounds good and it is very mature and it runs great. The ability to remove my background without a green screen and play a game and and just be there in the game world as I'm streaming this live to the community is incredible. Like live streaming and playing with the community like we did yesterday on the 5090, 7 freaking hours, 7 hours of live streaming that game at 4K max at epic settings, and just bam, barely any hiccups at all. And the ability for me to just be there in the game and on screen at the same time, it's cool, man. Like that is cool. That is something to be very proud of and happy about with the RTX 5090. I mean, all RTX can do it, but the 5090, man, 4K epic settings, 100 frames a second, playing, yeah, incredible. Number 5 is, this is literally the best you can buy for gaming and content creation, for AI, for editing, for just everything. Like this is the best. This is the best you can get, and it's literally the best. Does everything I needed to do, and it's good. Like it feels incredible. And so like it's wild that like the 5 things I hate about it are like completely overridden by the 5 things that I love about it, that it's like, oh my gosh, it's a wash. It's an absolute wash. And it's wild. It's wild that it turns out to be that way. Like it is literally the best. It's the best you can get. And look, guys, I'm actually happy that I bought this. I am happy that I bought it. It really freaking shows you, that like, look, yes, you're gonna spend money. You're gonna spend a lot of money. You're gonna buy this product. At first, you're gonna feel like, oh my gosh, this is not worth the money. I spent a lot. When you get to the upgrade over what you get from 5070 Ti and 9070 XT to a 5090, you're gonna look at those numbers and you're gonna be like, ooh, that doesn't even come close. It's not even close, to the same performance versus value. And then you realize, after you've utilized this thing for almost 3 months, that, gosh damn, dude, like this thing is going to pay for itself pretty quickly. It's going to pay for itself pretty quickly. You're getting that top quality experience that you just can't get anywhere else. Like there's no way to get the experience that you get on a 5090 anywhere else. Like you can get close. You can use the features. You can use frame generation. You can use FSR and DLSS4 on lower end cards and get close. Like you can absolutely get close. But once you use the features on the 5090, it's a completely different world. Like it is like, oh boy, man. Like, yes, those things can deliver a 5090 experience in a little bit. You know what I mean? Like they can deliver a fake 5090 experience, if that's what you guys want to say. But it still is. Like realistically, it tricks your brain enough to be like, oh my gosh, man, it works and it looks good and it does what I need it to do. But the 5090 with 32 gigs of VRAM, you don't have to sacrifice any settings. You don't have to use 4x frame gen. Like you don't have to, you can use like 1x frame gen, or even just using DLSS performance mode will push you pretty damn high. And like normally you don't even need to do that. You can just use quality most of the time and you get a good experience. So it's pretty wild how the 5090 turned out to be probably one of the best investments I've made for the channel, while at the same time remaining one of the things that it's like, it's like such a workhorse. It's such a tool that you almost want to use it more to do all of this stuff. Like, yes, my 9070 XT is capable. My 5070 Ti, more than capable when I had it. But the 5090, it's just like, gosh damn, like you have everything at your fingertips. Like you can just do it all and it's good and it's fine. It gets the job done. And I'm not saying that a 9070 XT wouldn't be more than sufficient. I'm not saying a 5070 Ti or a 5080 wouldn't be sufficient and give you what you need. I'm just saying that like with a 5090, like you just know, you're just like, damn, nothing else on the market can touch this experience. Nothing can freaking do what this thing can do as fast as it can do it, yeah, you're just like, wow, man, it's wild to feel that way. So 5 things I hate, 5 things I love. It's kind of crazy how how it kind of just cancels itself out, to be completely honest with you. It's just like, okay, 5090. Is it special? Yeah, it's special. And plus you get like that one thing that you get that no other level of PC is going to give you is like this sense of like, damn, dude, like that is nice. And I worked hard and I bought that. And that's mine. And I could take pride in it. And I built that and I handpicked every piece for it. And it's just an incredible creation. Like I've always said this, you know, when you build a PC, you get to be the architect of your gaming experience, of your content creation experience. And it's pretty cool, man, I mean, I wouldn't say that I'm bumping shoulders with freaking Mark Cerny or Jason Ronald anytime soon in the console space, but dang, man, I'm pretty proud of myself for building such a freaking monster that actually gives me 4K 60. Too bad Microsoft and PlayStation can't do that. I'm just joking. They could, but you're gonna pay for it, man. But yeah, that's pretty much where it's at, guys. I actually love it. I'm grateful that I took the opportunity to buy it when it was there. And if you decide to get a 5090, just know that yeah, it's gonna be expensive, and you know, but gosh dang, man. Like I feel so good when I get into a game and I just turn everything on and I jump in there and I'm looking at it and I'm like, gosh damn, this is robust. Like this is robust. Like you can feel it. When you're on a 70 class card and you're playing the same games, like you can feel the difference. Like you can absolutely feel the difference between a 5090 and the lower end cards. But look, guys, 70 class cards this generation are very, very good. And they will deliver a very good experience using the features. If that's something that you can absolutely get used to and get accustomed to, you don't need a 5090 to enjoy video games. But a 5090 is very enjoyable to play video games on. So, all right, my friends, we will see you in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any comments or concerns, put them in the comment section and I will read those and we'll talk about it. Thanks for watching. Bye.